Good morning from London, the London Bridge, not London Bridge, London Tower is over here, and London Tower Bridge. Anyways, I'm getting my names confused because the actual London Bridge was actually torn down piece by piece, and it actually was moved to Arizona, believe it or not. Thought my friend Carol was kidding when she said that, but the London Bridge is actually in Arizona. So this is London Tower Bridge, I believe. So anyways, this is the River Thames, and this river has a lot of death associated with it because it connects. Hampton Court is, Hampton Court, I believe, is down that way. And Hampton Court was the home of King Henry VIII and Anne Bolyne. And Anne Bolyne, apparently, she was a little bit mouthy and she stood up for herself. She was saucy, apparently, and Henry VIII didn't like that. And she did not produce an heir for him. And he was having an affair with Jane Seymour and wanted to marry Jane Seymour. So get a load of this, you guys, on how corrupt the history and how messed up the history is down here. So Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn, could not produce an heir, so he chopped her head off. And he did it in the place that I'm going to show you guys. We're going to walk past it and I'll show you the actual part that she came in off of the river. It's called Traitors Gate. And anyone who was to be executed, they would come down the river and they would enter through Traitors Gate. So I'll take you to the gate that Anne Boleyn would have come in from. So she didn't produce an heir. He chopped off her head and then married Jane Seymour 2 weeks later. Now here's the really messed up thing. So I'm from Canada and I don't really know the history of England very well. And I just assumed that the Pope would be the head of the church. Well, no, the Pope is not the head of the church. The King of England is the head of the church because he didn't, the Pope told him, no, you're not getting divorced. You can't get divorced. And so he took the position back from the Pope way back in the 1500s so that he could bring it into law, so he could bring divorce into law, so he could actually divorce another wife and remarry again. So if he didn't kill you, he divorced you. And so to this day, the head of the church is the King of England. Now, examine that. Pull that apart for a second. The head of the Church of England is King Charles. Look at this man's history. Look what happened to Princess Diana. Camilla should definitely buckle up her seatbelt and watch her neck, because this family has a long history of murder, deception, unfaithfulness. I find it very interesting that the head of the Church of England is King Charles. Look at the way the man has lived. And even in the Bible, it says, you will know them by the fruits of their labor. Good morning, Elaine. Great to see you jumped online. I really wanted to go live from where Anne Boleyn lost her head, because the Hope Diamond is associated with my family. My mother's great aunt was Evelyn Walsh McLean, and she was one of the last owners of the Hope Diamond. And so if there's a way to break that curse, I'm here to do it. So I'm definitely going to be doing some prayers while I'm down here. Prayers for the souls of all the people that lost their necks here, because she wasn't the only one. Oh, look at all these locks that are on here. This is the River Thames. My friend Carol said I keep pronouncing it wrong. I think she pronounced it Thames, something like that. Anyways, Thames. The famous river that you would float down if you were about to be executed. So I'm going to take you for a little walk and pray that it doesn't start raining while I do this. Because what you're about to see is some really messed up opulence. Like, these palaces are out of this world. They're so huge, they take up city blocks. Probably had thousands of slaves and servants. So, and it has definitely an air of somberness, sadness. There's so many layers of imprints on this place. Look at this. Tower Bridge, I believe this is called. London Tower Bridge. Hope I got that right. And this is called London Tower, this big castle. When Carol was talking about London Tower, I was expecting like a tower like Big Ben, or I don't know, something like that. I didn't know it was like literally a fortress, but it is. So here we're coming up upon Traitors Gate. There is so much history here. Let's just read this stuff. So it says the Cradle Tower. King Edward III built the Cradle Tower in the 1300s as his private palace entrance. Battlements, air loops, and 2 portcullises defended this important river gate from attack. The king arrived by boat onto a wooden jetty. Inside the tower's vaulted ceiling is decorated with stone carvings. Okay, let's see. Good morning, everyone who's just jumping online. Thank you for joining me. I hope I'm holding the camera steady enough. These cobblestone roads are very bumpy. Very, very, very bumpy. So I'm trying to keep the camera as still as possible. So from my understanding, as an act of compassion, the king brought in a French executioner who knew how to take a head off in one fell swoop. And so this French executioner, as an act of compassion, took his shoes off and walked in his bare feet so she wouldn't hear him coming. And eyewitness accounts say that she was praying, her lips were moving the whole time that she was praying, with her head bowed, kneeling. And when they cut off her head, her lips were still moving in prayer. So I think that's pretty messed up. Look at this. So this down here is Traitors Gate. So all the criminals that were going to be executed would come in through these gates.
You know it all.
I am one.
You were there.
Can you imagine the amount of fear entering these gates? Knowing your fate. Because the people that went through these gates, even if there was a trial, they were always convicted. And this led into the tower's dungeon. $1,280. Thanks for watching my adventure, Beth. Steve, the back of my neck is throbbing. I bet. I bet. Yeah, it's honestly something else.
Did you hear what we said?
Ooh, look at that big ship that's in. You know, it's interesting to see modern life on this side, and then across the river, you have such archaic history. It's literally like that river divides the present and the past. Over there is the future, present and the future. And it's interesting that they have, you know, almost like a pyramid-shaped building. You know, I'm always interested in the architecture because of the ley lines and where, you know, hopefully I have you guys back. Anyways, it has definitely an overwhelming energy that I've never experienced before. And when I get home, I'm going to have to process everything that has happened out here, because it definitely feels like every day has been led by spirit and signs and, you know, deep connection. Look at that. The water looks so peaceful, yet so deadly. So, within these walls, Anne Bolyne had her head cut off. And many others had their head cut off as well. But that one, it's interesting. Oh, and I have to say, so I just heard of Prince Harry's book called The Spare. And so I downloaded it on Audible last night. You guys got to read it. I feel very sorry for the guy. You know, it's interesting that he got out, especially when he did. I don't think that was a bad thing, and I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody with my opinions, but I can see things, and I can see how this family, brutality and coldness and lack of heart, lack of humanity, and I see humanness in Harry that I don't see in the other royal family members. There is a softer side to that boy, and he's not like them, you know. And I think he was very brave, I think he was very brave to say what he has in his book, but it's his opinion, it's his experience. And I was quite shocked with the stuff that he openly says. And oh, that's too bright. I'm trying to get an angle where you guys can see me. Okay, here we go. And my heart goes out to him, like even as I was listening to him, because he does the audiobook. It's him reading it, and you can feel his heart, you can feel his energy, you can connect with him and his energy through his words and through the story. And that's what I was doing when I was listening, and my heart broke for him, seeing him, thinking of him as a little boy growing up, being told that you can't even cry at your own mother's funeral, to walk with his brother down the road behind her coffin. Where's the humanity in that? I know when I lost my parents, I was shattered, and I would not have been able to hold it together, especially being so young. It's like they're all missing a sensitivity chip or something. And so good on him for finding love and making a life for himself and saying, I'm not like you. I'm stopping that pattern. I'm stopping that pattern for my children and cleaning up the ancestry, because when a person steps out of the pattern, they create new ones. And the children then that come in the future actually have a chance of making a difference in this world, instead of repeating the deception and the lies and the whoring around and the syphilis and off with your head. And it's just one big circular nightmare of history and brutality. And he addresses that in his book. Steve, what caused the rift between him and William? Read the book. It's quite interesting. I don't personally know what caused the rift, but he does talk about it, him and his brother's lack of relationship. He talks about it in the book. So good for him for stepping up and speaking his truth, especially in this day and age, Yeah, I think people need to see that he's human. And at one point he was a kid going through the worst trauma of his life and expected to hold it together. Rebecca, I agree, he's incredibly courageous. I completely agree with you. So brave to step out of that pattern. Yeah, good for him. And I know I kind of got to say that quietly here in London, because I think there's still a lot of royalty fans, which is so bizarre to me, that in this day and age, there's, and after everything that King Charles has done, it blows my mind that he is the head of the Church of England. If that doesn't speak volumes about the cult and the cult that those people are in, I don't know what does. We need to open our eyes about religion and power that these people have, because they didn't get powerful over the centuries just by passing it down. There's an energy that goes with that bloodline. That's why a lot of them would marry their cousins and interbreed, because they were, and blue blood. You've heard the expression blue bloods? Yeah, they're blue bloods for a reason, because they're keeping the power within their genetic bloodline, right? And I think back at the very beginning, there was 12 tribes, 12 different sets of energies, 12 different reasons for coming to Earth. And I think that there was a lot of abilities in our bloodlines that lay dormant now, because over the years, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? It's like telepathy. I believe that we used to readily communicate with telepathy. I do it with my husband all the time. You know, that's definitely a real thing. And stop and think about it. How many times do you think of someone and then they call you or you bump into them? That was them, you picking them up within your field of energy, their energy connecting with yours, and boom. It's not coincidence. And we need to, the more you see the connection, the more you'll get the connection and gain the connection. So anyways, I really think that there's a lot of dormant abilities that we've lost through the generations and through different bloodlines coming together, creating a different resonance. So, but anyways, that's a big, long discussion to have. But for anyone who's thinking of getting their DNA examined by 23andMe or the other one, Ancestry.com, think twice, think twice, think twice. I was kind of dumb and I did it. I really regret it now because now they know my codes. They know exactly who I am and they know what I'm capable of. They know my mother's genes, my grandparents' diseases, because all of that is traceable through your DNA. It's crazy what they know just by taking a blood sample of you. So be careful or you're giving away your story and it could end up in the wrong people's hands. I did it years ago when I started this journey of tracking my mom's heritage, because I think it's important to understand where we come from so that we can clearly identify the patterns that we have come here to change. Because each and every person who's watching this right now, I know that you're here to change the world. Even if it's one person's world or a pile of people's world, you're here to change someone's world, right? And the more you understand yourself, the greater your capacity to step into your design, your purpose of being here, right? There is a reason why you're here, why I'm here at this time, not 1,500 years ago. Because it's time for us to step up and step in and onto our life's path. So, okay, man, there's a lot of people here. I'm gonna just go like this. There you go. We'll get another shot of that. Erica, I always feel the need to help others, but sometimes I feel like others take advantage of that. Yes, me too, all the time. But that doesn't prevent me from giving anyways, because that's a reflection of them, not a reflection of you. And the thing is that people will always remember your kindness, even the ones that take advantage of it, right? And karma is a real thing. What goes around comes around. So you can only screw over, so many people before it comes back at you. So you just got to stay in your lane and continue to be that light, continue to give, because the world is changed by your example. And they know what they're doing, right? People who screw us over, they know what they're doing and they're going to do it anyways. And it sucks and it hurts, but it's also a lesson for us to learn in some way, shape, or form. There's always something to learn and always something to teach. So, I don't know. I think that's where we just need to step back. And because I know that, Erica, you're a bright light to the people that have the privilege of knowing you and being around you. And if they screw you over, just simply step away. Don't argue, don't fight, simply step away and be done with it. I always say, step away and let them feel your absence. Because when you're bringing that much light to a person's life, oh, they will feel your absence and they will think twice before they ever do it again, right? Whether it's to you or to somebody else. Aw. Oh, you're so welcome, Erica. Yeah, so boundaries. I have to say, boundaries is definitely something that I have learned through the pandemic, because people will constantly take advantage unless you create boundaries. And the only people that will mind you creating boundaries are the people who are taking advantage of them to begin with. So, no, put up some boundaries and stick with it. Okay, let's go walk by the river. I got to get back to my friend Carol. Is it 11:11 there? It's not 11:11 there. It can't be. Isn't it like 9 a.m. or something there in Calgary or in Canada? What time is it for you guys? Because I don't have my watch on, or do I? Hang on. Let me see if I have my watch. Nope. Oh, yeah. It's 4 o'clock here. So that means... Oh, it is 11. Erica, what does it mean when I see 111 and 1111? I see it every day. So do I. I actually have 1111 tattooed on my foot. It means that you are in alignment. It means that your angels are watching over you. And I take that minute and I stop, drop, and pray. Whatever I'm doing, I thank God for the divine alignment that He is creating in that moment. And I look at it as a moment of manifestation and manifestation and blessings. So that's what I do with my 11:11 minute and my 1:11 minute. I say a prayer, but yeah, it's all about divine alignment. You're on your path and you're being led. That's what 11:11 and 1:11 means to me. They also remind me of the pillars of heaven, or the gates, when it's 11:11. Oh, good morning, Judy. Great to see you online. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 8:12. Well, good morning, Michelle. Elaine, 8:12. Okay, that's what I thought. So, Steve, that's right. You're in Sutton, so it's only 5 hours behind. That's right. Well, good morning, everybody. It's already rained here. I've already had breakfast and lunch. It's weird living in the future. And I always want to do lives earlier because we're out all day, checking out London and these really cool sites. And then I remember, oh no, it's like 3 a.m. back home. So I can't do it. I have to wait for y'all to get up and out of bed. So anyways, just wanted to show you guys where Anne Bolyne lost her head. And yeah, it's just one more thing, one more thing to pray over. And I don't know if you guys missed the live that I described what I did at Stonehenge in Avery. So my girlfriend Carol is part of the English Heritage Foundation. So she got us a private tour of Stonehenge, like where we were walking around the stones and everything, because normally the public can't even go up to them. It's cordoned off so far away. So everything happens for a reason. It really does, because I brought my liquid light with me. What it is a combination of my favorite little essential oils, and I have a Lemurian quartz that I charge on my Rife machine with all these different healing frequencies, and then I drop it in the oil, take the oil, put it on the Rife machine, Rife the whole thing, stick it under my pyramid, pray over it, sits under my pyramid usually for 2-3 days. And sometimes when I'm doing my sound healing meditations, all my oils are already under there waiting. And so I'll actually do my sound healing meditations with my oils under my pyramid. So it's getting as much healing resonance as it can have. So I took my oil with me to Avery and to Stonehenge. And I dropped liquid light all over the stones in Avery, in the Avery Stone Circle. And I didn't want to do it on the stones in Stonehenge because they have lichen that is growing on the stones that's millions of years old, so I didn't. I just dropped the oil right in front of the rock because I know that there's ley lines coming out of it. And so I dropped my liquid light all over Stonehenge property and all over Avebury, and I said a prayer while I was there. I even did a little mini meditation. The meditation you did at Stonehenge, I turned into a blue butterfly. Beautiful, Beth. Hey, yes, thank you for doing that, because I was super early, or else late for you guys when I did it. Because yeah, it was like 7 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. my time, so like 1 in the morning or something for you guys. Thank you for everybody who joined me on that. But yes, I brought my liquid light with me to England, and I poured it on as many ley lines as I possibly could. And I've prayed in each sacred site, and I've also lit candles for my mom in all of the chapels that I've been in. And so it's been an amazing healing journey, an ancestral healing journey as well. And so to know that I'm standing where Anne Bolyne came in, she was the owner of the Hope Diamond, which ended up in my family. And so if there's any sort of generational curses that are related to that diamond and my bloodline, I'm here to break it. I'm here to nullify any contracts, and bring in the light. So, okay, that's getting loud, so I will let you guys go, but I hope you have a magnificent day. I will try and pop online as much as I can. Oh, another thing. I went to a place called Hampstead Heath, and it's a beautiful, beautiful property that's part of the English heritage. Well, last night, Carol and I watched the movie Belle, and it was filmed at Hampstead Heath. It's about a beautiful little mulatto girl that was accepted into a white family in the time of slavery. And the uncle, or the man who raised this little girl as his own child, went on to change history and bring in the abolition of slaves. And so watching that movie last night and then actually standing on the property, it's the coolest thing in the world. I'm gonna go and walk the property again tomorrow and see what I pick up. So I'll bring you guys with me. Just keep an eye out on my YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed, do so, and then you won't miss it. Elaine, have a fabulous day. I love you. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Erica, I recommend everyone to do a reading with Patricia. I did a reading with her and my daughter. My daughter's learned that she sees the angelic realm. It was an awesome reading. Oh, I'm so glad, Erica. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love hearing that. I really, really love to hear positive feedback. I love to hear any feedback. This is how we learn and grow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. That totally made my day. Okay, guys, much love from London, England, and I will see you either later today or tomorrow. God bless.